ZIM flat rate. From one who knows. The ZIM flat rate concept has arisen due to the extreme nature of the ZIM. All other currencies are of a manageable size, with the dong's largest note at 500,000 dong, and the dinar's largest note at 25,000 dinar. Since these currencies have rates that are basically whole numbers in dollars and cents, it is easy for anyone to understand the conversion from foreign currency to USN. However, when it comes to the ZIM, we, the informed and internet people, will be getting very high whole number rates as well, even on the ZIM. These are all considered the privately negotiated rates. This means that if you ask for the higher rates, you will be offered them, but if you do not ask, they will not be offered. This has been made clear and explained so many times that I can't imagine that informed currency holders don't already know this. Importantly, there has been mention of supposed screen rates in the range of $2 and change per ZIM. This is a complete misunderstanding, and needs to be cleared up. This rate is not the screen rate but instead a privately negotiated rate that must be asked for. The only thing that is interesting and important about this particular rate is that it requires no NDA. Frankly, you could consider it to be the highest rate you can get without the NDA requirement. But it must be asked for to get it. Now, let's consider what the regular public will get now and until they no longer redeem the large ZIM bonds/currency. We can get a clue from what Yosef mentioned in his speed bump post. Speed bump, Intel Satrep. I also commented on this as well in my post. Understanding the speed bump Satrep, ZIM, from one who knows. According to his post, there were going to be two possible rates, one with the NDA and one without an NDA. As of my conversation with grandfather last night, this is now only one rate with no NDA. According to the speed bump Satrep, the screen rate was 0.00000018 without an NDA, or 18 million for one 100T note, 0.00000200 US dollars with an NDA, or 200 million for one 100T note. As I mentioned, this has changed. While I don't know what the final exact rate will be, it most likely will be close to these previously mentioned rates. Also, the new big idea is to offer a flat rate per note so that it is easy to calculate an exchange. This makes perfect sense to me. Instead of telling the uninformed currency holder that the rate is some huge fraction with lots of zeros to the right of the decimal point, they are just quoted a flat rate per note depending on the size of the note. A $100T bond equals $xxxx.xx, a $50T bond equals YYYY.YY, a $500 million bond equals ZZZZ.ZZ per bond note, etc. Remember, these are not experienced, nor informed currency holders, and most likely this will be the most money they have ever seen in their lives. Very simple to understand, and easy to exchange. The moral question: who decides what rate a person should or should not get? Of course, for us the informed, we will be asking for the rate we feel is right for our circumstances. Frankly, when it comes to ZIM, we will probably never spend it all, before money becomes obsolete. However, the question still remains: who decides what rate a person that is not informed should or should not get? Before you consider that question, let's think about this. We know that there are lots of times that big money ruined people or even got them killed. We hear these stories all the time about lottery winners. So, what makes currency exchanges any different than winning a lottery? Also, we should consider if we are the ones who were meant to be in this position due to soul contracts, manifested destiny, or calculated planning and faith. If that is true about us, and I think it is, that means that there are those who were not supposed to get this big money. Right? This includes the sleeping public and those who rejected our suggestions that they should get in on this opportunity. But life is not black and white, become trillionaires or get nothing at all. Clearly there must be some in-between ground where some get money, but not the big money. Frankly, if there were those who were meant to get the big money, and those who were meant to get no money at all, then it follows that there are those who were meant to get some money, but not the big money. That would be those who have ZIM but are not informed about the privately negotiated rates. Is this somehow wrong? No, how could it be? By logical extension, if there is anything wrong with the universe's placement of money for those at that level, it could be said that maybe the placement of trillions in your hands might be wrong as well. But, we know it is not. The universe is perfect in every way, and it is not failing now either. Those who have ZIM and know what to do with it are meant to get the most money. Those with ZIM and don't know what to do with it, are meant to get really big money, but not as much as we, the informed, will get. Those without ZIM or any currency at all, are clearly not meant to get any money from this GCR. They will be the ones who we help. Do you really think that the universe is out of order in any way? Of course not. That is impossible. Whose responsibility is it? I saw a post about the new flat rate on the ZIM that made me laugh a bit. Someone, who I shall not name, was complaining that the banks were somehow trying to shortchange his friends and family by giving them the flat rate. In so many words, he said the bankers were the bad guys for offering the flat rate instead of the privately negotiated rates. But, whose responsibility is it anyway? We have been told again and again that the high rates were only going to be offered to those who ask for them. If they do not ask for them, they will get the flat rate. Nothing going wrong here on the bank's part. Importantly, if someone asks for the higher rates, they will be able to get them. Again, nothing wrong on the bank's part. My question is, if these are your friends and family who have the ZIM, why haven't you told them to ask for the higher rate? That is not the bank's job, or right to do that. If you have gifted ZIM to others, they will get the flat rate, unless they ask for more. Should you tell them? That is a hard one, and it is your responsibility to decide and not the bank's. Special note. I noticed a special exception to this flat rate option. Interestingly, and wonderfully, it was said that if a person had a total of ZIM that was more than $200, they would get something other than the flat rate. They didn't say exactly, but they would get some sort of upgrade offer that was more than the flat rate. Based on the idea that they are not permitted to give higher rates unless asked, I think this is way more than fair. It might be that if they have a lot of ZIM to start with, maybe they were meant to have the big money by universal standards. It makes sense to me. The bottom line is that people are meant to get what they get, light workers and the sleeping public alike. If you force your will on another, no matter if you have good intentions or not, it may inadvertently hurt them in the end. So that begs the question, should everyone who has ZIM be trillionaires? Of course, the answer is no. But the trick is feeling the situation and doing what you think is right for others, the best you can. A few $100 million could be more than a person would ever need and is not wrong in any way. The flat rate makes sense for the novice who has a small amount of ZIM. If you feel the need to inform your giftees, then do so, but don't think that it is someone else's job to do so, as it is not. If you gave them the currency, it was your gift, and it is up to you to decide what size that gift is, or will be. However, know this, whatever you decide, will be the right answer, because whatever happens, is always, in all ways, what is meant to be. In the end, whatever you feel compelled to do, is most likely the right thing to do. Follow your heart, and accept its answer, no matter what that answer is. May you get everything you want and live the life of your dreams/plans. See the transcript on iqdcalls.com, link below. Also see disclaimer. Signed, one who knows.